Welcome back to curvycasual.com. Today I did a kind of a different makeup tutorial than I usually do. Usually I kind of film and then do a talk over, and this time I kind of talk through all the steps of my makeup to kind of show you how I do things and why I'm doing things, and yeah, just to kind of teach you guys kind of how I do my makeup every day. I'm definitely not a makeup artist, but I just love doing makeup, and I've learned a lot of tips and tricks along the way, and hopefully you guys will learn a bit too. If you want to see how I achieve this look, just stay tuned. Step 1, find the dirtiest hairband you can and put your hair back. And I think I'm gonna do my eyeshadow first. So what I'm gonna use is the Morphe, this is the 25B, and then I'm also gonna use the Morphe 25A palette. If you're looking for really cheap, really good pigmented shadows, these Morphe palettes are super good. Anything by Morphe is really good. I think I got these two palettes for like $30. Usually a regular palette is from like Urban Decay, for example, is like $50, and these are just as good, if not better. So, little tip for that. So I think I'm gonna start off with eyes, and for that I'm gonna kind of bring you guys in a little bit. So, 1 second, let me bring you in. Kind of, let's do this brown color right here. It's a really good transition shade. It's important that you have kind of that matte transition shade in your crease first. It kind of lays the foundation for the whole look. And I'm going to use a fluffy brush. Fluffy brushes are really good at putting down that crease shadow color. Once that is all blended in, we're going to go ahead and go on the other side. So taking a bit on my fluffy brush and then tapping off the excess. And then we're gonna go in on the other side, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're just laying this matte shade down into the crease, which is gonna create a nice foundation for our shadows. And I'm gonna take this red shade right here, and I'm gonna pick up a different fluffy brush. So I'm going to use, let's use this fluffy brush right here. And I'm just gonna kind of dab that into the red shade, tap off the excess, and then I'm gonna put this in kind of the outer corners. So putting that in the outer corner, and then blending it into the crease. But I'm not going as far in as my first shade. I'm just kind of going halfway in. So I'm concentrating this red shade on the outer part of my eye. And then just kind of blending those two shades together. So then, now that I kind of have my transition shade and my kind of darker shade that's more concentrated on the outer corner of my eyes, I want to put down a lid shade. So I'm going to end up doing this shimmery color here. And for the lid, you have a couple of options. You can either use your finger to pat down the shade, or you can use kind of a shader brush. I think I'm going to use this brush here. So you're using that flat brush to pack that shimmery color onto the lid. And then windshield wiper motions to kind of blend it in. Okay. I'm just taking that shimmery shade onto my flat brush, and then I'm going to pack that onto the lid. Actually, I'm looking, I might actually use this plum shade right here. So for the outer corners, it's really nice to use a pencil brush. It's a really nice kind of dense brush that you can really concentrate the shade in the outer corner. So what I'm gonna do is dip that pencil brush into that deep plum shade, And then I'm just gonna focus this on the outer corner of the eye. Sometimes the hardest thing about makeup is trying to decide what colors will look good going together. And that's just kind of a personal preference, but I found that reds, purples, and golds, like what I'm doing today, go really well together. And I mean, it also depends on like your skin color and your eye color. For me, I have green eyes, so purples and golds really make my green eyes pop. Okay, so then I'm going to take my initial blending brush that I used. It doesn't have any more shadow on it. It's just kind of a clean, fluffy brush, and I'm going to blend in those shadows. I don't want to bring this too far in. I just want to keep this kind of on the outer corners of the eyes. Just kind of blending in all the shades so we don't have any harsh lines. And I'm actually going to use the same brush that my pencil brush was on. On the other side of it, it's like a perfect brow bone brush. So I'm just going to dip into that matte kind of beigey color, and I'm going to put this onto the brow bone to kind of manipulate the shape of the eye look that I want, to kind of emphasize that cat eye shape that I want. And the reason that I do eye makeup first is just so if there's any fallout, then you can just take your foundation and put that on, or your concealer, and it'll get all that fallout. So what I'm going to use is my NYX Matte Liquid Liner. This stuff is really good, really easy to use. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of a wing today. So I do this a couple different ways, but first I'm going to kind of just make a line, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my wing. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my liquid eyeliner and I'm going to kind of flick it up towards my eyebrow. That's all there is to it. It takes a little bit of practice, but you just get used to it. So then I'm going to do the same on the other side. There you go. Really easy. I mean, I try to make them match as much as possible, but eyeliner wings are cousins, not sisters sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you guys back out and I'll show you the rest of the face. Alright, so now that I'm done with my eyes, I want to kind of focus on the rest of the face. And the first thing that I'm going to do is foundation. So this is a brand new foundation that I got yesterday. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. And I got it in the color light beige, so hopefully this color will work. We will see. This will also be a nice little first impression. So what I do with foundation is, this is a pump one. So I usually take a pump on the back of the hand. It might be a little bit too dark, but if a foundation, if you ever find that it's a little bit too dark for you, you can always just blend it down into the neck and it'll be fine. I've heard that this is actually a nice full coverage foundation, which I love and need in my life. Okay, so now this is kind of dotted all over the skin. I just got this My Eye Beauty Tool Mermaid Face Brush, and this is one of those oval foundation brushes. I actually got this at I think Marshall's, and they have like beauty products for super cheap. I think this was only like $10. So it looks like this, and then you just kind of do circular motions as you're blending in your foundation. I've just recently started using this, and I really like it because it makes blending in your foundation go really quickly. I feel like it leaves you with a really nice finish. This foundation is way too dark for me. Oh shit. So just make sure you're blending all the way down to the neck. Why did I think that I was ever this dark? I don't know. Maybe because I wish I was this dark. I feel like maybe on camera it doesn't look so bad, but I'm looking like down into my mirror and starting to look a little bit orange. Oh shoot. Like it doesn't look that bad on camera. Maybe it'll look like that in real life then. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Instant Age Aurora, the same concealer that I put on my lids, and I'm gonna put that underneath my eyes. This concealer works really well to kind of hide my dark circles, which is an issue for me. You can like barely, is this my right one? No, shit. It's turned into a mess real quick. This is like a medium, this is like not my color. It's like a medium color. This is the color I want. It's like a brightening one. I was like putting that on, I was like, what the hell? That's not my right color. Okay, so I'm gonna put this concealer under the eyes. Then I'm gonna take my Rimmel Match Perfection concealer and I'm gonna put this right on top. And that is the best way to conceal under the eyes. I'm also gonna put this in between my eyebrows, down the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow, my chin. So these are like all points of the face that you want to be brighter. That's where you're kind of putting your concealer. I put it in my smile lines too. And then I'm also gonna put it kind of down the cheek area, kind of almost where you contour, but like right below. That way it kind of makes your contour stick out a little bit. So there's a couple ways that you could blend in your concealer. You could use a beauty blender, you could use a brush. I have a couple different brush options, I believe. Let me just show one more. Oh yeah, this one. So, see, I haven't used a brush very much on camera before, so we'll go ahead and blend in the concealer with a brush today, just so we're kind of showing something a little bit different. It's hard to describe like how to blend. I don't know. You just do it. Okay. So see how that kind of creates a lighter area right here? That way when we go and do bronzer, it will kind of define the area a little bit better. So kind of when I'm adding on my concealer and I'm highlighting my face, it's also toning down this foundation that's a little bit too dark for me, so that's good. So that actually doesn't look too bad once everything is blended out. So once you do that, you want to set your concealer with some sort of a powder. That way that your concealer isn't creasing throughout the day. So I have a couple different powders that I like, but probably my favorite is my Laura Mercier translucent powder. In a translucent powder, you most of what am I trying to say? Most of them come through like a sifter, and you have to like put them into the top of the cap, kind of tap them out like that, and then you can use your brush to kind of pick it up. What I'm gonna use is this janky brush that like is always falling apart, but I kind of hold it like that so it doesn't. This is a great highlighting brush too, but I like it for under the eyes. So I'm just gonna pat out some of this translucent powder, and I'm gonna put that underneath the eyes. This is like one of the best translucent powders I found. The Coty Airspun is good too, but I don't know, sometimes it gives me a little bit of flashback, like in photos. So I'm gonna use this brush here. Actually, just kidding. I'm gonna use a bigger fluffy brush. And I'm gonna pick up the rest of that powder, and I'm just gonna set off the rest of my face. So you do this so that your foundation will stay in place. It also helps to kind of mattify your foundation, which I really like because I tend to be pretty oily. And so to prevent that oil from coming through like throughout the day, you put this translucent powder on and then you don't become oily throughout the day. So then I think I'm gonna kind of finish up with my eyes before I head into like bronzer, blush, and highlight. So what I want to do first, I think I'm gonna finish up the bottom half of my eyes, which I don't like to put too much darkness underneath your eyes because then they tend to look smaller. I already have small eyes to begin with, so I don't want to go too crazy with that. What I think I'm going to do is use that matte shade that I had used earlier. I think it's this. I'm kind of looking at this palette and there's some really pretty grays in it too that I'm thinking about putting kind of on the outer part of the lid, or the outer part of the bottom lash line. So for that, I want to use a really kind of small angle brush, and I'm going to take this like grayish color right here, just to give my under eye a little bit of color. And I'm going to put this as close to the lash line as I can, and I'm only going to bring it halfway in. I don't want to bring it all the way into the eye. So then to finish off, I like to highlight the inner corner of my my eye. So what I'm going to use is my Becca highlight in Moonstone. So then I'm going to go ahead and put on some false lashes. But first, I'm going to curl my lashes and put on some mascara. I tried to put lashes on the other day without putting eyeliner on, and I didn't really like it very much, like how it looked. I felt like you could see the lashes. I also just realized I completely forgot to do my brows. I need to do those too. Let's just do those right now. So for brows, I'm going to use my Milani Easy Brow eyebrow pencil, and I'm just going to brush out my brows. So how I do my brows is first I go underneath the brow, and I kind of want to carve out my brow shape. So then I go on top, and some days I'll kind of overdraw my brow, some days I won't, I don't know. Depends on what kind of brow day I'm feeling. And then I just fill it all in. I really should have done my brows earlier because I like to kind of add concealer around them to kind of highlight them and define that shape. But I already highlighted my brows, so I don't want to kind of screw up that highlight. Okay, so then I'll move on to lashes. I was wondering what was missing. I was like, I don't look right. Okay, so then I'm going to put on some eyelash primer. I feel like this makes the world of a difference for my eyelashes. Like, my eyelashes are usually teeny tiny, not full whatsoever. They don't curl. Even when I curl them, they don't curl, so I don't even know why I curl them. They're blonde, you can't even see them, hence the false lashes. So then I'm going to use my favorite mascara, my Too Faced Better Than Sex, and I'm going to put that on my lashes. Alright, so I'm back. I put my lashes on. I use the Eyelure lashes like I showed you guys. They're super easy to put on. If you want to check out how I put lashes on, my last makeup tutorial video, the Easy Red Smoky Eye I did, I showed how I put my lashes on. So yeah, loving them. So next we'll move on to bronzer, and I just picked up the Milani. This is the XL All Over Bronzer, and I got it in the shade Fake Tan, which goes perfectly with my dark foundation that I have on today. So I'm going to use this brush here, and I'm going to kind of just swirl that into the pan. It's like one shade's shimmery and one shade's like matte to kind of give you a nice glowy color. And I hope this isn't too dark. Okay, so I'm going to first focus this on the cheeks, and I'm going to just kind of put this into my contour area. Oh my god, that's okay. It's just gonna be just a real sharp contour, nice and bronze. No wonder it's called Fake Tan. Why do I do that? Let me just try to blend this in a little bit better. There we go. We're getting there. Okay, I'm gonna take my translucent powder again, and I'm gonna put some kind of like down here just to sharpen that jawline a little bit more. And I'm just gonna use this brush here. You know, once I blended out that bronzer, it's not too bad. It's definitely darker than what I'm used to, but it's not too bad. I guess I need to go tanning so I can use these products, right? Here's my excuse to go tanning. I'm gonna kind of let that sit there for a sec, kind of bake. That's when I first like watched YouTube videos and they kept talking about baking, I was like, what the hell are you talking about, and how do you bake your face? But I still honestly don't get it. But they call baking whenever you put like translucent powder there and just let it sit there. That's apparently baking. I got this in an Ipsy. Funny story, I accidentally ordered 2 Ipsy bags, and I don't know how that happened, but like for the last 2 months I've been getting 2 Ipsy bags, which I'm not complaining. I like Ipsy, but I don't need 2 bags because I also get boxycharm, so I don't need that many beauty subscriptions, so I had to cancel one of my Ipsies. So for blush, I'm just kind of patting this on my cheeks, and I used to like smile and put on my blush, but I heard you're not supposed to do that, and you're supposed to kind of concentrate your blush actually on the outsides of your cheeks and then bring it in to your desired place. But if you focus it on the outsides, that kind of makes your face look smaller, and if you bring it too far in, like straight up on your cheeks, then that makes your face look whiter. So I feel like this blush looks really good with the eyeshadow look that I went with today. So next up, I'm gonna use, this is the Vintage by Jessica, oh my god, Liebeskind. It looks like this. I got it in a boxycharm. It's illuminating. Oh fuck. I just like put my thumb straight up in, like look at what I just did. I put my thumb into that highlight shade. Alrighty. So this is a illuminating face highlighting set. So this one is Rose Quartz, and that's the shade that I'm going to use today. This shade here, the Chocolate Diamond, it's too dark for me to be a highlight, and honestly I don't even know if it's supposed to be used as a highlight. I've used it kind of as a bronzer, like on an angled brush, and it looked really pretty, so I'll probably just end up using that as a bronzer. So I'm going to use, this is a fan brush. This is really good for highlights, so I'm just kind of put that into that Rose Quartz shade, And then I'm just gonna highlight the top of my face. So very lightly just dusting on that highlight on the tops of my cheekbones. There you go. It's a really pretty highlight. Okay, so now that I'm done with highlight, I'm gonna move on to lips. And I kind of want like a pinky mauve color today. So what I'm gonna do is use my IBY Beauty lip liner, and this is, what shade is this? This is in the shade Darling. So I'm gonna use this on my lips. I always make the mistake of like licking my lips before lining them, and then they're like too wet to line. Okay, there we go. Apparently that just dried them out. I was like, But I'm gonna fill them all in with this pink shade. So I put kind of that pink shade down to bring through more of a pink in this. If you don't do that, then it looks a little brownish, like more brown than it does right now. All right, you guys, here is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you enjoyed kind of my different take on doing a makeup tutorial and kind of listening to me talk everything through. I hope you guys learned something. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well as my blog, curvycasual.com, for more content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!